want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below. James Toback has been accused of being a serial predator in a new complaint filed on Monday in the New York Supreme Court, and it stated that a list of total of 38 plaintiffs, 15 women by name and 23 Jane Does, versus director Toback, age 78, and the Harvard Club of New York City. In the court documents, the plaintiffs allege that Toback used his reputation, power, and influence in the entertainment industry, including as an award winning movie director, screenwriter, and member of the prestigious Harvard Club of New York City, to lure young women, including plaintiffs, through fraud, coercion, force, and intimidation into compromising situations where he falsely imprisoned them and did other things. Quote, the plaintiff acted at all times under duress due to Toback's repeated explicit and implicit threats of blacklisting them in the industry, physically harming them, and or even erasing them if they did not comply with and remain silent about what was taking place. Plaintiffs further allege that Toback, a longtime filmmaker who received an Oscar nomination for the screenplay he wrote in 1991 film Bugsy, repeatedly used the prestigious and privacy of the Harvard Club in Manhattan's Midtown neighborhood to lure women, including at least plaintiffs Jolene Hayes, Nicole Hodges, and Jane Does, 4, 15, 16, and 21, into secluded places at the club for a meal, alcohol, and a private room while promising them opportunities in his movie. Quote, for decades, defendant Toback falsely imprisoned, went after, abused, and or battered women at the Harvard Club, including 6 of the plaintiffs in his dining room, hallways, stairwells, bathrooms, and hotel rooms. Further allegations claim that Toback, who graduated from Harvard University in 1966, went after his victims, including the plaintiffs, around the city in various locations, including his editing studio, his apartment, hotel rooms, and public parks, as well as his mother's apartment. Quote, plaintiffs did not consent to defendant Toback's harming. Toback forcibly compelled them to comply through the use of physical force and or threats, both express and implied, that he would have plaintiffs blacklisted from the industry, kidnapped, physically harmed, or erased. The Harvard Club allegedly continually catered to Toback's needs, providing him a safe haven for his reprehensible and criminal acts. According to a complaint, the Harvard Club terminated Toback's membership after allegedly performing an internal investigation in or around the fall of 2017. So I'm just a little bit confused. The story literally stated that he not only used his mother's apartment, which is weird due to the fact that this is supposed to be a prestigious director, all this other type of stuff. Like I said, I don't know the ages of these women. I don't know how long ago this was in a sense, right? Because there's a multitude of women, and I'm pretty sure the ages vary. Because they said he graduated from whatnot or whatever back in 1966. So I'm just trying to figure out, why isn't the club getting sued again? Because they knew about everything that was taking place. I'm pretty sure people overheard some things. And they just allowed him anonymity, right? They allowed him the ability to do the things that he is able to do. Um, and they helped. And I really don't hear anybody trying to 100% go directly after the club, the people who own the club, the people who are working in there at the time. It's a little bit odd to me on that, right? Given the fact that women stated that this is specifically what happened. So I think you would want to come after everybody um, that was a part of, this bad actor, all of these things, right? And the other thing that I'm trying to figure out is all the people that always talk about Kyrie Irving, that talk about Will Smith, and all of these, other black actors and athletes, right? Whenever they do something wrong, right? It's always boycott. It's always, I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to be a part of that. I don't like this team as long as this person is here. It's always all of this ruckus, right? But where are all of these people when it deals with men like this who are specifically uh, having ill intentions, right? When it comes to women, right? Using the main things that women, state that men do. They, use their power, their money, and their influence in order to get the things that they really want. And no is not an answer, right? Where are all of those people at? What happened to the time is up and the Me Too movement? How did they magically skip over this dude? Like, you mean to tell me that during that time, none of these women were, thinking like, "Hey, this is my time. This is my shot. Let me, let the world hear my voice." Right? I am woman. Hear me roar. Right? That whole thing. Where were they at during that whole thing? How did he escape all of that? And they were cleaning house during that time. So like I said before, I find it just a little bit odd. I find it just a little bit odd, um, how everything is taking place. But then again, I can't really say that it's odd because he has the complexion for the protection. And not only that, he also has other women that will more than likely body block and protect him as well. And that's the main thing that I try to have people understand, right? That men like this, no matter how wrong they are, no matter how devious and underhanded they are, no matter what types of things they try to do towards women, right? They will have women working right with them. They'll have women bringing those women to them, women coercing those women telling those women, hey, it's not really that serious. Calm down. Here's some hush money. Go on about your way and don't say nothing or else. Like they'll have women that will literally do this on the behalf of those men in power. But yet, whenever you hear a lot of these stories, nobody ever wants to talk about that. Nobody ever wants to bring up those things. How, you got this one side where women are like, yeah, everything is, all men's fault and this is what y'all do and this is what y'all enable. But y'all never bring up or talk about the women that also help to coerce and enable a lot of the things that these men do. They could very easily just be on your side, but they're not. They sided with the perpetrator, which means that they are also, at fault for everything that took place with a lot of these women as well. But as you can clearly see, those women who may have been there and involved, um, they're not being pushed to the forefront by that man. Like I said, there's something that's there, something that is going on. The exact same thing that you were able to hear that took place at that club, where you heard people that were protecting, right, this prestigious director and allowing him to do all of these various and these variety of things to these women. But, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And he has a complexion for the protection. And, pretty much nobody's going to say anything about it. Nobody's going to try to, ban any movies that he might have been directed, been a part of, helped to produce, executive produce, or anything like that. People are pretty much going to stay mum and silent. But let it have been a black man that did the exact same things that he is being accused of by all of these victims at this moment in time. And watch how quickly his kingdom would have fell.